Howdy ho, neighbors. Yeah, for like 30 minutes.
I was saying it done. I'm gonna take the dog outside in a minute.
Ooh, the dog's going outside. How are you? How is everyone? I figured we'd do a short live and cover. Yeah, somebody really wants Ernie Shell to be sheriff. That's the dumb side for y'all. Ernie Shell for sheriff.
What?
Yeah, people.
No, I don't want to know.
Yeah, don't. It's not.
I don't.
It's not worth
I don't
it.
want to know. It's fucking stupid.
So, for those of you that have missed out on the shit show, since yesterday, I know some of you haven't seen this, but we're gonna review it real quick. This is Manny Explorers, and he was down in Little Italy, New York City for the San Gennaro Festival, which is an annual festival, and this festival is about Saint Gennaro. And Ernie just couldn't help himself. He had to go up to this YouTube streamer and brag about, I've got 25,000 subs. It was super fucking cringy, but we did see that him and MAGA are still together, clearly. They have not broken up. He has lied to his entire community. He cannot help himself. He's lied to his entire community about breaking up with MAGA, missing the dog, not missing the child, missing the dog, not having anything, sleeping in hotels, soliciting donations. His fake boss, Brad, who has no arm, is going to be super pissed. So let's watch this, shall we?
Maybe I live in Jersey, but I'm always in New York City. All right, say hello to everybody. Say hi. Another streamer.
Look at those fingers.
Check it out. Reality at its best. I gotta check it out. Yeah. You're based in New York? What's the name of yours? Manny Explorers. Manny Explorers? Manny like Pacquiao. Manny Explorers. Manny Pacquiao. Not Pacquiao, but Manny Explorers. But Manny Explorers. Yeah. Check him out. All right, check him out. All right, big. Nice meeting you. Take care.
That guy's like,
hey, Dennis, what's going on?
That was
everybody who's new here, welcome. I've been watching you lately. I like the tour you give life. Thank you. I don't know, because a lot of people met him, so that way I remind them how do you pronounce it. So I'll just say Manny. I guess, yeah, but I'm surprised how he's streaming with no demo. This is him. Hey, Clyde, what's going on? Hey, Miguel. Pina colada, one of the best drinks. Any cash? What's that one, my man? He looks like I was. What's up, sorry, hey, MK, welcome. I appreciate that, folks. This is profit. We got pizza all over.
look at little scumbucket. Oh, shit. I wasn't showing this the whole time.
Yeah, it's probably going to hurt his hand, but it's doing pretty good.
I'm not sure what just happened. I was sharing the screen, and the screen went away. Let's start it over.
I don't know, because a lot of people met him, so that way I remind them how do you pronounce it, so I'll just say Manny. I guess, yeah, but I'm surprised how he's streaming with no demo. This is him. Hey, Clyde, what's going on? Hey, Miguel.
Hey, Roger.
Pina colada, one of the best drinks. Any cash? What's that one, my man? He looks like I was. What's up, sorry, hey, MK, welcome. I appreciate that, folks. This is profit. We got pizza all over. So this probably probably shaky without a gimbal. Yeah, it's probably gonna hurt his hand, but he's doing
Hi,
pretty good.
Carlos.
He had 150 people watching that, so. Even with,
Hi, Petey. Hi, everyone
tripod,
coming
it's shaky,
in.
man, with your hands. Unless the camera has some magic like a GoPro that keeps it stable.
Just keep watching. Just keep watching.
They
Hi,
used to
Great
have also
Great.
like this ice cream, that they turn like an ice cream wall where they dry it. I think, I don't know, I'm gonna have to scroll back to the. Try to search him. He said he has 20,000 followers or more. Let me give you a view of what's going on behind.
So
Beautiful.
I showed this and then I went back and slowed it down. There's MAGA.
For the two.
I subbed to him too, Fizz.
Oh, really? How was that Italian festival out there in upstate?
Oh, fuck yeah, he's hyped up.
To do it in Jersey too during this season.
I knew what you meant, Carlos.
But yeah, a lot of these shirts, a lot of pastries. And like I say, this goes all the way till September 25th. So if you're in the area, you still got time to come here.
I mean, wouldn't you?
10 days. It started yesterday, so got 9 more days. Indeed, a lot of people, but believe it or not, it gets more packed than this, especially during the nighttime. So
the same people would go back every day.
Ooh, look at that Italiano feast of
as long as it was good, you had a
food.
good time. Because I know a lot of people are curious. I'm going to show you probably some of the menu over here. So I can't really catch up with your comments, but yeah. Hello, Mitchell. What's going on? Nice to meet you. I watch you live in LA.
How many you got watch out, bro?
I got right now 40 live. I got 45 people.
45.
Yeah, I'm what's that?
Ernie show.
He's like, how many people you got watching your live, bro? Like that's what was important to him. Oh yeah, she was begging Manny Explorers for a wrench because she wanted to fucking knock us all out. I wasn't in that chat, but True Gypsy Soul was in the chat. She alerted me to this, and that's why I went and screen recorded it. And this dude is like, how many people got watching your live? Oh yeah, well I got this many people. How many subs you got? I got this many subs. Oh, so cringe.
Ernie show. What you do? Manny Explorers. How many subscribers? I got 8,000.
I got 25,000.
Live out here? I mean, well, a lot of it goes about always in New York City.
Say hello to everybody.
So yeah, I'm streaming.
Ernie show, check it out. Reality Attitude.
I'm gonna check it out. You're based in New York?
What's the name of yours?
Manny Explorers.
Manny Explorers?
Manny like Pacquiao. Manny Explorers.
Manny Pacquiao.
Not Pacquiao, but Manny Explorers.
Manny Explorers.
Yeah.
Look at those
Check it
fucking
out.
baby
All right,
fingers.
nice meeting you. Take care. Sorry. Hey, Denise, what's going on? Everybody who's new here, welcome.
Exactly,
Fizz
Crane.
Thank you.
Exactly. Now watch Manny's watcher
I don't know,
count
because
jump
I'm
from
in Manny's,
58 to
I don't
like
know how many
67.
counts, I'll just say Manny. I guess, yeah, but I'm surprised how he's streaming with no gamble. This is hand. Hey, Clyde, what's going on? Hey, Miguel.
No, Carlos, I am not there. I am at home. Sherlock Holmes is there though.
Was that one my friend? He looks like that. What's up, Saudi Arabia? Hey, MK, welcome. I appreciate that. This is
MK Matt.
They got pizza all over.
Oh, Guardian.
So this probably shaky without a gamble. Yeah, it's probably gonna hurt his hand, but he's doing pretty good. He had 150 people watching that, so.
Hi, Pendar.
Even with tripod, it's shaking, man, with your hands. Unless the camera has some magic like a GoPro that keeps it stable. They used to have also like this ice cream, you know, that they turn like in an ice cream wall where they dry it.
I slow it down
No,
here.
no, let's go back to the. Trying to search him. He said he has 20,000 followers or more. Let me give you a view of what's going on behind it.
Watch this. Here comes MAGA. And Ernie, like a little lap dog, chasing after.
Beautiful. I think a beautiful shot. Yeah, man.
Here she comes, MAGA.
Very good. For the two, hey, two Gypsy, who the Ghana streaming? That's
No,
what
it's
he
new.
does?
It's Little Italy.
Oh, yeah.
Please
Well,
bring your
oh,
consumer
that's his channel.
affairs
Okay.
on.
Hope I- Get trolls in here.
At Canal and Mulberry.
That guy was sick, and he is a
Sarah
famous con
Kaiser.
artist.
You must bring your
Oh.
consumer affairs on.
Is he kind of one of those? Sorry.
At Canal
Is he,
and Mulberry.
can't even talk. Is he kind of one of those IRL streamers? What's it? Oh, okay. Yeah, I kind of feel a vibe with him, but hey,
He felt the vibe
hopefully I
too.
don't get any of those crazy people on the channel. Yeah, he's the one who came to me. I didn't even approach him, but I thought that was kind of weird, but that's a respect, you know. I just go with the flow. All good. The only one I care about is Ariel. Ernie Shell, okay. It's a weird one, yeah, okay. Thanks everybody, thanks for warning me about him. Okay, I won't. No, I'm not gonna even type or anything, but I appreciate that, Dave. Cool.
There you have it, folks. This guy was acting a fool. Hi, Maria, and anyone else that I've missed. Right, Lisa? But he left his girlfriend and her grandson in a very crowded area of NYC to do his lame ass live and pretend he was somebody more than what he is, which is typical of Ernie. Then Mama T went on and on and on. What are you doing? Hold on just a second. Oh, Mama T's grinding hard as fuck for him. She's convinced that we hired somebody to stalk Ernie. And she deleted that live, of course. Well, you want to stream her live from earlier today? Why does she need a copyright disclaimer? Oh, Lord.
Big winners that I can remember. You have to understand it was real busy, so sometimes we didn't always catch
Hi,
it.
Starbright.
Yeah.
Consistently busy. And then I worked at a casino in Nevada. It wasn't on the reservation, but I worked at a casino in Nevada before I got my CNA license.
I bet
And
that was fun.
CNA license? It's a certification, honey. It's not a fucking license. Would you stop that right now? Oh, by the way, I wanted to share with you at about 12:46 p.m. today, I was at my kitchen sink when I saw a black Buick SUV pull up and like stopped in the center of the road, driven by a guy with silver shoulder length hair. He was wearing a fedora. He had a digital camera. He turned his body, and pretty sure he was taking pictures of our license plates. So Frank went outside because that's what Frank does. He's like, what the fuck? And old dude pulled away. We got his license plate number. It was a Michigan plate. So my guess is that was Jimbo's $100 bounty for my license plate. Yeah, what the fuck? And I'm like, why does this even fucking matter? Why do you need my license plate? You can't do shit with it. I'll have my attorney fucking get a hold of the MSP to see who's running my plate. Jimbo, if anything happens to my car, Frank's Tahoe, or the van, you got some splaining to do, motherfucker. Yeah, someone did hire a PI. Like, I'm not stupid. Like, to get my plate number. What are they going to do with my plate number? Call in and ask somebody to tow my vehicle? What's the PI going to do with my plate number, with Frank's plate number? What are they going to do? Nothing. You can't do anything with it. No, Jimbo's been asking for my plate number for over a week now. So, yeah, that was super sus. He's going to follow me where? He didn't follow me because we ended up leaving like 5 minutes later to go to my granddaughter's birthday party. It's just so fucking weird. These intimidation, false report. Oh, yeah. Well, thankfully I have this cool little thing in my vehicle that downloads my every fucking movement through my insurance company. So they probably didn't think about that. It is gay and homosexual at the same time. But of course they took off when Frank went outside. Oh, they can do it. I mean, they can't do shit with it, but good job. You have my plate number. Now what? Guess what? I'll go renew my plates next week because I can, and I'll get a new fucking license plate. So then what? So that's what I'll be doing next week, is getting a new plate. Well, thankfully, like I said, with State Farm, because I actually pay for car insurance, Jimbo, I've got this little beacon in my car that shows exactly where I'm at what time, my speed, everything. So, hey, Redstone. So, honestly, what are they going to do with it? Well, just say it right here, River. I mean, it's not stalking. This is a public, like, my vehicle's parked in a driveway, seen from the road. That is considered public with no expectation of privacy. The funny thing is, though, is that I caught them in the act. Well, we're not dealing with the brightest bulbs here, stupid old lady, but I really, this is personal shit. It was somebody from Michigan, and it wasn't his Michigan weirdo Doolittle bounty hunter from Battle Creek, because that guy, none of his vehicles, I think all of his vehicles are like 15 years and older. So, yeah, we're not scared. We literally was like, yeah, that was super gay, and you have the money to do this. Well, guess what? I'm going to get a new plate next week. So fuck off, Jimbo. Why would they need my plate number if they have my fucking address, though? You know what I'm saying? Unless they're going to try to have my vehicle towed and they're going to call in and say, I need this vehicle towed. Here's my plate number, which still would not be in their best interest. Like, I know all the towing companies in this fucking community. There was a huge towing lawsuit that I was a part of. Stormy's definitely paying for it. Definitely.
It was fun. It was actually quite a bit slower because it was a smaller casino.
Oh,
But it was quite a bit slower than the Choctaw Casino. Hello, Frankie. The only Native American casino I've been to is Calshada, and I loved it. I walked out and went, awesome, Frankie. That's awesome. Excuse me.
I've been to Vegas, but it was for work, so I didn't really get to play much. Some of the fellas did. I was the only female, so I pretty much did my job and then went back up to my room. I didn't know much about gambling. I was afraid I'd lose all my money, so I'm not doing it.
Well, that's why I say if you're going to go to a casino, you need to just take a certain amount of money that you are willing to spend and lose, possibly, that you can play on, and let that be it. Leave your bank cards at home, leave your credit cards at home, and any other cash that you don't want spent. The Lone She-Wolf. My son worked at the casino on Wind River Reservation for years. That's awesome. That's awesome. Did he like it? I did. I enjoyed working there at both casinos, actually. Actually, the one in Nevada, it was slower than the Choctaw Casino because the Choctaw Casino is a bigger casino, way bigger.
Was it fancy?
But yeah, it's fancy. It's nice in there.
Yeah.
I actually worked at the one in Nevada first.
Did y'all see where Ernie posted it cost him $15 to get a gallon of milk?
No, I did not see that.
Yeah, in New York. It was $14.99 on his receipt.
Hello, Jimmy. Dang, that's ridiculous.
Ridiculous. Oh, I didn't even want to know how much a pack of cigarettes is.
Probably like $20.
Yeah, that.
Calshada is in Elton, Louisiana, close to Lake Charles, Louisiana. Beautiful resort too. Yes, Frankie, I bet it is.
Ooh, gross. All right.
And the food at casinos, guys, just remember that you're gonna spend probably double what you would at a regular restaurant. Because the thing is that, you know, the little restaurants that they have inside the casinos.
I know you would, Dr.
Yeah.
Vance.
They are pretty, some of them are pretty fancy, so you're gonna spend good money and get good food. It's always been good at the ones I worked at
I don't believe
and been
you,
to.
Mama T.
It was organic milk though. Sammy Joe?
Organic.
So, are you gonna be here tonight for my live?
Oh,
Yeah.
Lord.
Okay, good. It's a slumber party now, so.
Yeah, I
and it's
remember. Yeah.
ladies' night, so, I don't know.
Dr. Jack, did we party too hard?
I do
for your
not
birthday?
drink milk. I don't drink milk,
Did we get
period.
you sick? It
Gross.
seems like I got COVID right after that. The party train. Everybody got
Remember,
sick.
we can't say the C word.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's a YouTube thing. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I'm not behind on payments.
Yeah, I saw your videos. They were really good. I like the scary story and your song. I had my son hear your song this morning.
Milk is
Oh, that's
disgusting.
awesome, the Lone She-Wolf.
Don't drink
Yes,
milk.
he did. Now he is 2 or 3 months from getting his legal aid law degree. Awesome. Awesome. Best birthday
I'm
I
not
ever had.
worried
She
about
said,
them,
hopefully
Lisa.
next year we'll be able to do it much bigger. Much bigger. Has anybody?
Listen, Lisa, I understand that you're worried, but I consider myself a very formidable individual that does not scare very easily. That is something that I have crafted and honed in on over the last 6 years. It's going to take a lot more than someone fucking taking a picture of my goddamn license plate to scare me. A lot more. A lot more. And just stop drinking milk, you guys. Just drink water, man. Eat your greens that are full of calcium and vitamin D, man. I saw that, cowherd. Mamita is livid. She's been downgraded if you haven't noticed. Hi, everyone. I don't think I can listen to this
They
much
heard if they had
longer.
found the little girl missing, the one we were speaking of the other day.
I haven't heard that.
Little girl here, Charmaine Crawford,
She's probably already been
11-year-old girl
found.
missing out of, I believe it's Montana too, but let me double check on that. Hello, Nana 62.
Let's watch Graz instead. How about we do that? I think that is a better idea. Way better than Mama fucking Teabag. I can't stand her voice. She's so ignorant. Hi, not so dumb. Thank you, Graz. Put a mod post Graz's link. Yeah, I'm not gonna listen to it, Dragon. Hey, Katie. Hey, Peace Knees. All right, who wants to violate copyright laws with me? Put a one in the chat. Oh, by the way, if you haven't seen it, this right here, that's knee pads. Her name is Chrissy Bingham. She's from Virginia and she's a fucking asshole. Go look her up on Facebook. She's the one that's been trying to dox rap since fucking Mother's Day. All right, you're welcome. All right, we're gonna violate the law.
If somebody
Breaking the
is
law, breaking the law.
lying about being a victim or survivor to get attention for whatever reason,
That wouldn't make any sense. Why would someone do that?
It takes away, well, because they want attention, but it takes away
Why would
real
that
attention.
first-
Let
no,
me finish.
no one wants attention.
Hi, Selah. Oh, and by the
Welcome
way,
back to another episode
all of those
Have a
intro
Seat with
photos
Chris
happened
Hansen.
in
I'm Chris Hansen,
Owasso
tonight with a
2 years
very
ago.
Special collaboration again with Wes Most. From Jussie Smollett to self-proclaimed supermom Sherry Papini, whose story we covered right here on Have a Seat with Chris Hansen, the number of false victims being called out and brought to justice is startling. But what should the penalty be for someone when they do this? Jesse,
Here's Ocean Liver and East Square
some of the story doesn't make sense.
and everyone else.
Okay, well,
And this
if
would,
that's
let
what
me
it is.
finish, and this would be a good time for you to come clean on. Before we can answer that question, we need to go back to August 2020 when I first interviewed Coco Berthman. Here is True Crime Stories, West Most.
So these people literally encompass everyone over on the dumb side. Oh yeah, messy Jessie. I'm gonna start fucking trolling that bitch soon, and I'm gonna start streaming her, and I'm gonna fucking gaslight the fuck out of her. I just gotta find her channel. I tried looking for it yesterday.
15 years old, sold over and over again by her mother.
While other children grew up with monsters under their bed, I had to grow up with the monsters in my bed. The torture that I endured varied. On some days, nothing really happened, and on others, I was raped 10 to 50 times a day.
In 2018, while living in the US, Coco first found the strength to tell her tragic story. In that original email to a friend, Coco said she was being abused by her mother's boyfriend, and her mother was completely unaware.
We really seemed like
No,
a
I
normal
can't say
family.
it.
We
I
were living
typed
in
it.
normal neighborhoods, and the only odd thing about us was that we moved at least once a year. So I was in 16 different schools before the age of 14.
16 different schools before the age of 14.
Mm-hmm.
Coco went to the police. The boyfriend was arrested, but was later released without charge. Not long after, 15-year-old Coco made the decision to run away. She left home, finished high school, moved to the US, and the rest was history. Or at least
Bye, Lisa.
one version of history. By the time she sat down with Chris on August 8th, 2020, Coco's story had changed a great.
So remember now, pay attention. These people we know change their story. Oh yeah, NEPATs, like New England Patriots, NEPATS. These people will change their grift, their story, everything about them. Hi, Tinkerbell, Tina. And this fits a lot of those fucking grifters, man.
Great deal. Her mother, Renata, who in her original fiction was unaware of any abuse, was now not just aware, but she was the driving force behind these transactions.
When you say that you were trafficked by your own family, was this your mother?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so my mother was my main trafficker. Yeah, I remember people coming to our home and taking me to my room to abuse me, and then had interactions afterwards with my mother and exchanging money. These were people, you know, we interact with on a daily basis. So lawyers, doctors, police officers, teachers.
The story of her escape also became more fantastic. Instead of making that decision on a spur-of-the-moment impulse at 15, Coco said she knew at 12 she would need to get away for a much more dire reason.
What finally led to you getting the courage to escape at the age of 15 years old?
That is a story in itself. At age 12, I had to witness my sister being murdered.
as best as you can remember and are comfortable talking about it, what happened to your sister?
She was stabbed to death
By
by people my mother was connected to.
Over the next 3 years, Coco would methodically plan her escape, finding a children's clinic across Germany where she could hide. According to Coco, November 2nd, 2009 was the last time she ever saw or heard from her family.
Literally in the middle of the night of November 2nd, in 2009, running away from home.
50 times a day.
Onto the train. And then after what happened with the police.
I'd like to
finally
see
getting a
them,
restraining
good
order,
one.
I decided that I, wanted to go to high school. One of my biggest dreams was to be the first to graduate high school for my family.
She would spend 6 months allegedly recovering at the children's clinic before moving into her own state-funded apartment.
But you're living in an apartment on your own at 16 going to high school. How did you support yourself? I mean, how does that even work?
So I went to school in the morning and I worked at night, and I got a little bit of support from the government.
At 16 years old, and you're paying rent in an apartment on your own, working and going to high school.
This should have been her happy ending. Instead, it was the start of another nightmare. 16 and on her own, Coco fell victim to an unlikely predator, her therapist.
So I decided,
Wait, just hold there for a second. So you went to therapy, and your therapist ended up being your abuser at 16.
it's much longer of a process than overnight, obviously. And
But there was grooming there.
Yeah, exactly. And so he lured me. He never trafficked me. So what happened initially is.
But he took advantage. He groomed you into a situation knowing that you were a trauma victim, a victim of sexual assault, trafficking, child pornography, being abused in the most foul.
We're gonna do some more exposure on Ocean Lover and Lips, and I'm waiting for information. Like proof, but I think it's going to throw her into an enormous fucking YouTube meltdown once what I'm getting, I should say, is exposed. Ocean Liver is going to lose her shit.
Abhorrent way. And this therapist grooms you into a sexual relationship at 16.
After a period of grooming, he would keep her locked in this basement, sometimes for months at a time. Coco saw only one way out, and 5 years after her daring escape from trafficking, she tried to end her own life.
Yeah, went on for over 2 years. And I escaped that situation at 18 in November of 2013 by attempting. And I went to the forest with a bottle of wine and downed all those. And I passed out. And so from what was told to me after is that I was fortunately found by a dog and its owner. And they started performing CPR, calling the ambulance, and I was rushed to the hospital. And I was in the coma for a week, but I survived, and luckily, and I'm really, really grateful.
How did you get from that hospital, Coco, after the suicide attempt to the United States? How did that come up?
So after I woke up and after, I came back to my senses, I testified, and that therapist was convicted. And
so the therapist did go to prison?
Yes. And so after, he was actually charged not guilty for reason of mental disease, but he was locked away into a mental hospital.
With her abuser locked away, Coco would return to high school, graduating at the age of 21. By 2017, she had made her way to the U.S. and settled in Utah, converting to Mormonism along the way. In 2019, just 10 years after her alleged escape from familial trafficking, Coco was a fixture in her community.
Not the same one.
Zep,
she was a completely different Jamie.
There was even talk of turning her inspirational tale into a movie.
Ever since I decided to, be brave enough and, show some vulnerability, I've been connected with the most amazing survivors who work tirelessly to fight this. Organizations that try to bring more awareness and do rescue missions, and people who risk their lives to make a difference. And so, yeah, that's where I'm at now.
That's not how the story ended, though. Just a year after this interview, investigative reporter Lynn Kenneth Packer found and interviewed Coco's mother, Renata Ruff. Renata had successfully sued Coco in Germany for criminal defamation, and she was begging publications and organizations to stop printing and reporting on the malicious lie Coco was spreading. Renata provided a stack of evidence that proves Coco's tales were completely fabricated. Now, there was a lot covered in Lynn's expose uploaded in 2021, but here are the more glaring points. Coco said she never saw her family after running away in 2009.
And do you know where your mother is today?
I do not.
Your siblings?
I did not know.
But here she is in 2015 at the airport, ready for her big move to the US. The person she is seen hugging, her mother. Coco claimed her older sister Anna was murdered when she was 12. Coco does have an older half-sister, but her name is Magdalena, and she is very much alive and well in Germany. 2017, another picture. This one in New York, where Renata, her boyfriend, and Coco are enjoying.
Asia, thank you for the super chat. Oh, and if Doohickey is out there, remember this morning I sent Ocean Liver $1 Cash App and said, seethe harder. She laugh reacted back. She didn't refund the $1. She kept the $1. This could be, I don't know. It sounds like it could be his sister for sure.
Family time together. This is a full 8 years after Coco claimed to have fled, never to speak to her family again. Lastly, that therapist who abused and used Coco from the ages of 16 to 18, the one who was found not guilty by reason of mental instability, he simply does not and has never existed. The same goes for her apartment, the suicide attempt, the week-long coma, all of it. This expose went live on August 2nd, 2021 with little fanfare, but 6 months later, that video would finally out Coco. In January 2022, Berthman would tell friend Amy Bowler that she had stage 3 lymphoma cancer. Bowler quickly started a GoFundMe in Coco's name to pay for the expensive treatment she would need to beat cancer. The plea for help spread quickly, and the GoFundMe raised over $10,000 in just a little over a month, with even more money coming directly via Cash App and PayPal donations. Coco would go on Instagram Live and discuss her health, her diagnosis, and her odds of living.
There is an alternative treatment option that is much more holistically that I'm considering.
Let me just tell you from my significant background, lymphoma, like Hodgkin's lymphoma and non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, has a 95% survival rate. And that's just using AHOD 1331 protocol. And she fits into that age group that would have been treated that way. So she's lying. This bitch is lying right now.
Seriously, my friend Dara Rhodes from the Detox Cottage in San Diego has reached out, and she's going to help me, and I'm going to start a very strict nutritional cancer fighting plan. I'm removing all the toxins. I'm very proactive and very fatigued. I'm very, very tired, very easily. I get tired really quick. Aching. And then I have pain in the areas where they found the masses.
I don't know who that is. We're not fucking with people we don't know.
And in my lower back, I have pain. But the doctor said that with treatment, they gave me 30% chance to live 2 to 5 years, and without 1 to 2 years. And
5-year survival rate, 95%. This bitch is lying. I'm not kidding, y'all. Non-Hodgkin's and Hodgkin's lymphoma is the easiest and best responding cancer someone her age could have. It's very rare that they have to go through transplant or going through transplant and relapsing thereafter. I am just sick of these people with cancer that don't think there's people like me out here that know protocols and know that they're fucking lying.
I refuse to die.
But that's when a ghost from Coco's past came across the GoFundMe and was immediately suspicious. Berthman had lived with her years earlier when the family hosted Coco in their Utah home, and she recalled Coco had a long history of wild claims and false illnesses. Not long after moving in, Coco told her new host that she was sexually assaulted by a group of homeless men in Vegas while doing charity work. The family believed it. But over time, the stories became more and more grandiose. By week 4, Coco began sharing her trafficking story. Said her brother passed away from an overdose.
Yeah, that's
she
the real
spoke of
her,
watching
PD.
her sister murdered in front of her.
She's
The
currently
family was
facing
skeptical that
charges.
so much could happen to one person, as were Mormon bishops in both Nevada and Utah. But without proof, there was nothing they can do. At one point, the family hosted a newcomer to their home, a young man with lung cancer who was given 6 months to live. He got a lot of attention, something Coco definitely would have noticed.
And I guess, welcome to my cancer journey. Cancer picked the wrong kind of girl.
The GoFundMe was a smoking gun Coco's former host needed to put it all together in 2022. She shared her suspicions with the police, and while the process was slow going, that call changed everything. Further digging proved the diagnosis, the specialists, the treatment centers, the pain. It was all a massive lie.
Liver, we're on to
If you have
you.
any tips, send them my way. If you feel, I don't know, I feel bad for asking, but if you feel called to
Kind of
help in
does,
any
doesn't it, P?
financial way, my friend started a GoFundMe. There's a link. Most of the alternative treatments are obviously not covered by insurance, but yeah, I'll be okay. It'll be okay.
Donate
Her
if you
GoFundMe scam wasn't
want.
just
If
immoral,
you don't,
though.
you don't.
It was illegal, a second-degree felony for communications fraud, and will likely lead to time in prison. The damage she caused to survivors, her family, the organizations, friends, and supporters who worked tirelessly to acknowledge accomplishments she never achieved is immeasurable.
What do you want people to know most about your story?
This is not about me. I am safe and I'm happy and I'm healthy. But this is about all those who are still out there.
It's funny. The person who claimed it was never about her has proven time and time again that the only person Coco Berthman truly cares about is Coco Berthman.
Hi, Jenna. Sitting in a bedroom with the microphone. I'll never understand that.
But you better believe homegirl is not gonna die. Not anytime soon. Because I have still some dreams that need to be fulfilled.
Update. As of September 2022, 7 months after her arrest for fraud, Coco has listed herself as a COO for a service dog nonprofit located in Utah. The owner adamantly denies Coco is in any way a paid employee, but Cash App receipts provided by an anonymous source may prove otherwise. Some people insist on learning the hard way. Speaking of learning the hard way,
This
let's
is my
fast forward to
favorite.
August 2022.
Watch this. Hey, Steppers.
Hello.
Hi,
Messy
Jesse. It's Chris. How are
Jesse.
you?
I will be better after this.
Yeah?
Jessie is 28, lives with her parents, and works part-time at Instacart. Her fledgling YouTube channel has just over 600 subscribers, many earned during her time doing X-rated live streams on YouTube. Having a small subscriber count doesn't diminish the serious impact her actions have had on so many people. She's committed harassment, both sexual and non-sexual, doxing, defamation, and extortion, just to name a few. The number next to your name shouldn't be a deciding factor
I'm
in
so
anything.
sorry,
And you
Brendo.
deserve to be warned about Jessie now, so you don't learn the hard way later. This is
This
Jessie's
woman
story.
is fucking
Ready to go?
Ernie, Stormy, Mama T, all of them
Jesse, how did
combined.
you first get involved in the TCAP community?
For most people, being chased out of multiple communities for problematic behavior would be enough to walk away from
Same,
social media,
Katie.
would be enough to delete their YouTube channel, would be a wake-up call, a sign that you need some help. But Jessie is not like most people. By summer 2022, Jessie had already been exposed for sending nude photos to an alleged minor just to prove she wasn't fat.
Like they say I'm fat, and then I think so. Like I like said, there's news of me out there, and you can see that I'm not fat. So it's like, Tony Danza. No, I didn't know that Theo was. So Theo was calling me fat, and so I sent him a picture like of me naked, and I said, "See, I'm not fat," and he never responded back to me saying, "Oh, I'm a child." I just found out today, so that's kind of different. That he was calling me fat, and I just wanted to show him that I'm like I just want to.
Is
show people
her
that I'm
channel
not
named
fat, that's
Green
all.
Frog?
She was run from a community she was once a moderator for after mocking the death of a community member's husband and had channels dedicated to exposing her appalling behavior.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Steppers.
But even that wasn't enough to warrant her expulsion from the platform. Instead, she got even worse and would even go on to post a sketchy GoFundMe of her own. But suspect GoFundMes are hardly the only similarity between Coco Berthman and Jessie. They both sat down with Chris Hansen to tell their stories, but Coco had a seat before she was exposed. Jessie demanded her place on the hot seat after she was already outed. Her
Vivid
shroud of
Frog,
lies
I am
worn
so
away to fathom.
sorry.
And what do you do now, Jesse, in terms of your creation of content and your presence? What's your goal? What do you do now?
On YouTube, I will be doing skits, making music, just some parties.
There is another thing that Coco and Jesse have in common: a long history of false claims, slander, and defamatory statements against detractors, critics, and anyone who prospers.
You falsely accused content creators of being predators and pedophiles.
Berthman and Jesse would learn that some lies, lines, and people should never be crossed, and sometimes they carry real-world repercussions.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think what bothers me the most about this is it's not just the falsity of what she's alleged and stirring up the controversy and using up resources and damaging people's reputation, perhaps permanently, but it's also the fact that she's extorting people.
While she was around YouTube for a number of years, Jessie flew mostly under the radar until 2021, when she was part of AZ's community on her T-Spiracy channel.
Jessie was probably a moderator for me for probably like, I want to say 9 months or so, but she's been a part of the community since before that, and unfortunately after.
According to AZ, while Jessie was a little quirky, she wouldn't call her problematic. All of that changed, however, when AZ took Jessie's
Judith, me and my sister had breast cancer at the same time, same breast, left, and my brother had lung cancer. Me and my sister are in remission, but my brother died. First, I don't have words, Judith. Have you guys been tested for Leaf from Many syndrome? Because you don't look old enough to have breast cancer, and the fact that you and your sister both had breast cancer at the same time and a brother with lung cancer tells me this is a serious cytogenetic mishap in your DNA. So I pray that your oncologist has done testing to rule out this genetic predisposition. I am glad that you and your sister are in remission. I couldn't even imagine. I had to have a mammogram 3 years ago, actually. I had a screening done and they found a lump. And with my knowledge of cancer, I freaked out. And here you are, you're a survivor. Judith, I'm glad that you and your sister are here. I would talk to your oncologist and ask to see if you and your sister have been screened for Leaf from Many. I'm going to type it in the chat. Please make sure that they have screened you for that. If they have not, you guys need to be screened for it. Yes, it's a boobie exam.
Moderator wrench after months of increasingly bizarre and unhinged behaviors.
She's probably one of the only people I've had to just take the wrench away from, which was not fun to do to begin with, but I think that wrench meant more to her than she's willing.
I mean, Lori lost a wrench and look how crazy Lori went. Yep, you can also ask for BAP1. But the fact that 2 siblings had at the same time, same breast, that leads me to think it's Leaf from Many. But Lori lost a wrench and Lori lost her goddamn mind.
To admit, and it was really a really sad day because I was covering Gabby Petito like daily for a while, and she was in my streams, and she started offering 1-800-SANDALS vacations to my live chat. And that was kind of a problem because we were covering Gabby Petito, and that was like a serious subject. And here I have a moderator who is telling people to call 1-800-SANDALS vacation. So that was like the first red flag.
Jessie took losing her mod status well for about 5 minutes. Then all hell broke loose.
Lori,
and Jessie began to lash out.
Is this your sister?
Yeah, at first she said sorry, right? And then like, I want to say 20 minutes later, she started hitting me up, telling me that I was the one that was going to be sorry for taking her wrench away and that I can't take a joke. And everybody was telling her I'm the one with the problem. And it completely went upside down and inside out, like, quickly.
In an instant, AZ went from a friend to foe in Jesse's eyes, and she would spend the next few months attacking her.
She's accused me of relapsing. She's accused me of harassing her. She's accused me of sending her threatening messages. She's actually falsified a bunch of DMs between us, trying to make me look like the bad guy.
Oh, who does that?
Which I easily debunked.
Who falsifies direct messages? Oh, wait, that's Jimbo and Ernie.
GoFundMe Jesse posted in January of 2022, it was to help her fight what she called a conspiracy led by AZ and her followers.
Then
who else has GoFundMe's on YouTube? Ernie, Ocean Liver, Stella Halston. Weird.
Then she created a GoFundMe so she could get a restraining order against me, and she needed $600. So
it wasn't clear what the money would be used on.
It said, like, oh, if I don't get the restraining order, then I'm just gonna pay my bills with it. It said something about buying lunch every day.
And there was no proof.
Oh,
provided.
and Alicia Turner and Casey
Jesse would
Novello.
stop at nothing to discredit AZ.
It is always accusations. She has never showed proof of anything. The one time she did, it was fake screenshots, like I said, and I debunked her like immediately, and she never used them again. So no, nothing. She tells everybody that I raked in a bunch of money from Gabby Petito. I had a fundraiser according to her, and I was supposed to give it to Gabby Petito Foundation, and I just kept it all. And she even has a dollar amount, okay? I never had a fundraiser, ever. She gets this $4,000 number. I don't know where she gets it from, and she tells everybody that I pocketed the money.
What Jesse fails to realize is that these claims are illegal. Jesse may want to believe her
Same
false defamatory
traitors.
statements are harmless quips, as she tries to excuse her behavior behind trolling. But according to defamation attorneys Dan Warner and Raiz Muhammad of RM Warner Law, she is opening herself up to a number of potential consequences, something a woman nearing 30 should understand.
When she makes an allegation like this, which she does clearly for attention and views and clicks and drama, it can stick. It can damage somebody's reputation.
There's a higher standard, and you have to prove malice, which is basically the person knew what they were saying was false, or they had a really good idea that it was false, but they just said it anyway.
It's really disgusting that somebody, it's a violence, a criminal mind. And in terms of the recourse, we're going with reputational harm first, but there may be more than that. There may be significantly more. There could be a malicious prosecution claim. There could be a false light claim. There could be a lot.
Lying, defamation, slander, libel, and possible fraud are one thing, but Jesse was also
Look at
constantly
Jesse's
being called
fucking
out
face,
for her
you guys.
overly sexual content and behavior.
I think she needs help, and I think she needs to stop the behavior and just be done with it. She needs to just stop. That's it. Stop. But I don't think she can, and I don't know how to get through to her to do that.
Her non-age restricted live streams may have advertised Animal Crossing, but what anyone of any age may have stumbled across could have been a live shower show complete with moaning, a reading of her wolf-related pornography featuring herself as the main character, or a more explicit offering where she would lotion her body or bounce suggestively on an exercise ball with the goal of showing as much skin as possible. Often, these streams would end with masturbation and an equally crass sign-off.
They would end with masturbation?
Have you ever sent an unsolicited nude of yourself to someone else?
Yes, in my lifetime, yes, I have.
Okay. And why would you do that?
I get a lot of attention from being a beautiful girl, so I understand that it's not
beautiful
right, but
girl.
I've always had positive responses and everything. I think they've always, sent things back or water emojis, sexted with me, stuff like that.
I'll bail you out,
There were also a
traders,
growing
with
number of
Ocean
YouTubers and
Livers
community members complaining that
donations.
Jesse was sending unsolicited nudes and would ask to stop. She would ignore their pleas.
You just have to tell me to stop. And then I will. Sometimes it's a little bit hard for me because you had me going at first. Then he told me that he has a girlfriend and he would appreciate if I stopped, tried to communicate with him like that. And I didn't really handle that well. And that's the truth. I did send one more photo, and then he told me again. And from there I stopped. And I was kind of embarrassed that I did that again.
When pressed to explain her actions, Jesse would come up with an excuse, an assault when she was younger.
And you have made allegations in the past that you yourself have been a victim or survivor of predatory behavior. Tell me about that.
Now, depending on who she told and when, her age ranged from 8 to 13 years old in the story. But it wasn't just the age that would change.
Yeah, that's actually why I started watching
Jenna.
Predator, because I really like stings and everything, catching people that were just like this person who catfished me.
And what happened in the instance where this person catfished you?
Jesse told the story on various live streams several times in the months leading up to this interview. And while the major beats remained largely unchanged, there were massive variations.
I was on MySpace and they pretended to be like an emo scene kid. So we talked for a couple weeks and then he asked if I wanted to, well, he didn't ask, he said, let's meet in person. Like I had very strict parents, so I wasn't allowed to go out past 7 o'clock at night and everything. So it was kind of like I snuck out. So that was on me. I did sneak out.
And what happened in this incident?
Well, when I was in the car, I thought that I was drinking a Monster and it was a Four Loko, and Monsters always tasted really bad for me. So, but since it was late at night and I was really tired, I wanted to be awake and just like have fun. I wasn't going there to hook up because first of all, I was a virgin, I was a girl, I didn't know. And I was just excited to be like with someone from MySpace and everything. And they gave me a Monster. I mean, they gave me what I thought was a Monster, but what I know now is a Four Loko. And of course, the next day I was hungover, never drank before, so I didn't know what was actually going on, kind of thing. But you know, years later, having drinking experiences, I was like, I drank a Four Loko. That's what it was. So I ended up being intoxicated by the time we got to the house because it was about a 15, 20-minute drive, I would say. And
Jessie was adamant she was abducted by a much older man who posed as an 18-year-old on MySpace. The man picked her up and she was assaulted and kept overnight. Her parents never called the police or looked for their 8 to 13-year-old missing daughter. The next day, Jessie was dropped off in the ghetto, her words. Jessie's parents picked her up and the police were never called.
And you were gone all this time and they didn't figure it out? They didn't call police? They weren't worried?
the next morning, they were worried, and I lied. I said that I was at a friend's house. They were asking me who, and I didn't want to divulge the details or anything. Like I just wanted to like stay in my room and everything.
Thank
and
you,
they were like,
cowgirl.
Because I was always a generally bubbly girl, and always just always had a smile on my face. They called me Jessie Sunshine, and then I just blurted out.
I think
what
it's
happened.
Green Frog.
And then from there, they were crying.
It's
and
her
they were
channel
calling
name.
All
Not
my family,
sure.
telling them what happened. And I was like, please don't call the police. And like my uncle spoke to people, and he spoke to a cop and everything to find more information and help. And I didn't want a police report. Didn't want testing done. I was too traumatized. I really did not want to talk about it as much as I could. And my parents put me in therapy. So yeah, I did not want the police involved, even though they were informed. It was up to me to want to do something, and I said I really didn't want to do it. Also because
So you told your parents,
yes.
and did they tell the police?
No. So what it is my my dad told my uncle, and my uncle works in a jail. He for AA meetings and everything. So he has connections with law enforcement, and then he asked them what they should do, and
So it never officially got reported to police, but you told your parents, who told your uncle who works at a jail, who
yeah, I didn't tell him,
mentioned
but my
something
dad
to
told him. Yeah.
And whatever happened to this guy who allegedly assaulted?
Oh, you found
Just
it!
days later, Jesse's
Fuck
kidnapper was
yeah.
surrounded by
We're
police
gonna
in the
troll the
woods.
fucking
And after a
piss
tense
out of her,
standoff,
Katie.
he admitted to kidnapping and assaulting many women before taking his own life.
I heard rumors of standoff and all these crazy things. From there, I didn't want to talk about him.
When you say standoff, what do you mean? What happened?
Like what I was told is that he confessed to assaulting multiple women, and then he shot himself in Shirley's Woods. There's like a specific location that people we grow up with, you and know where it is, but
Right, but
I
the
mean,
story you
Heather
told in the
Inman
past
does
is
it.
that
Cow
he
herd.
was cornered by police
Mhm.
for this incident and others, and that he confessed to this
Mhm.
incident and others, and then killed himself in front of police in the woods. But that's not what happened, right? He
Right, and I want that clarified because
he
I
did
said that on
kill
my
himself
channel
in
and that was
October
incorrect.
2018.
Strange that a crime with such salacious details didn't make national news, considering her attacker was the brother of who she called a famous YouTuber. Jessie told that story time and time again, but it wasn't until early August 2022 that she would put a name to her alleged abuser.
By Corey, whom do you mean by Corey?
And this is when it would all fall apart for Jessie.
Corey Lush, which is Matthew Lush's brother.
Right, Matthew being a famous YouTube content creator, and Corey having been very popular on MySpace and some other areas of the internet.
Her attacker, the much older man who had posed as an 18-year-old and kidnapped and took advantage of Jessie, was the brother of YouTuber Matthew Lush.
All right, so I told myself I would never, ever, 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 ever do this again. But you know what? Here we are.
There were a few problems with this story. Chief amongst them was Corey's age.
And how did you know that this was Corey, and how old was Corey at the time, Olivia?
I believe he was, because I remember him laughing and saying like, "Oh, I'm 28" or whatever, right? And he was. I don't know for sure because he lied, and other girls in my school were telling me that he's lied to other girls and did similar things to girls older than me. With alcohol though, but I didn't know. Like I didn't willingly drink alcohol because I really didn't know. I thought I was drinking a Monster to stay awake and just hang out and kind of like have fun. I didn't even know what sex was or anything like that.
Born in 1991, he was 16 in 2007, and not a much older man posing as an 18-year-old online. In her original story, her kidnapper was alone, but in this new version, she was picked up in a white van by his friends, plied with alcohol, and then shuttled to a home where Corey was waiting. Again, Corey would have been 16 years old at this time, but in Jesse's new story, he had a gang of assistants who would both pick up and drop off females he met on MySpace.
I did sneak out to meet this person, but ended up being several guys, which were his roommates, Corey's roommates, and they picked me up in a white van, and they, brought me to the house in Shirley. And from there, they walked me to the door, and then they were saying like, "Oh, we're gonna go. You guys have fun." And from there, that is when I was like, "Oh, where is whatever his name was on MySpace?" Which I don't recall. But he said, "Oh, that's me. I was using a fake catfish profile." And well, he didn't say catfish. I was using a fake profile.
Let me just tell you, as an SA victim, I don't believe that I've survived it. You remember every goddamn detail in fucking 4G technology. This bitch is lying. As soon as we finish the rest of this video, I gotta go. Frank is taking me out on a date for supper. Yeah, this bitch is trying to say, "Oh, well, I've read about it and you forget things." Serious trauma as a child, you would. Like, this was a bitch that made up this whole story. Maybe I'll go live. And you can enjoy some. I want dill pickle pizza. So that's what we're going to do. Yep. Smells, especially. Sounds. Yes. I'm sick of these fucking pieces of shit.
So, yeah. He said he was bragging about his brother before it happened and everything. And
I'm so sorry,
he knew because
Tiny.
I was following him on MySpace and it was kind of just like public knowledge. So he took advantage of that.
What year did this happen? What year did the...
I don't remember. I do remember it was 7th grade. I might have said that I was 12, 13, but I don't do math correctly. And I will say that 100% was 7th grade and it was right before high school.
You know what? I fuck up with math too, but I remember it was February of 2016. I remember not because I'm bad at math, but because I fucking remember, Jesse. Because it happened. It's not fake.
After like the whole discussion and kind of just making fun of how like I was kind of stupid for falling for the trick and everything, he took me into the bedroom. Like he actually like physically carried me into the bedroom.
Delicious.
I do remember like exactly how the house was set up. I remember everything about the house. There was like a kitchen. It was very small. There was a kitchen, and then there was a hallway, and next to the room was the bathroom. And I was on the bed.
Oh, she's describing your standard fucking apartment.
He held me down I was on my stomach.
And you're saying that he assaulted you sexually?
Mm-hmm.
She's smiling.
It must have been like 2 hours.
I wouldn't be smiling.
Just from like the timing and everything.
What I would want to know is, why would Corey brag that he was the brother of Matthew Lush prior to assaulting her? But we can't ask him for any of those details. Because sadly, there is one part of Jesse's story that can be confirmed. Corey Lush passed away. Not in the woods after a dramatic standoff with police in 2007, but 11 years later, in 2018, when he took his own life. There were no police, No dramatic admissions of kidnapping and assault, nothing but a man's name being dragged through the mud after he is no longer here to defend himself.
My little brother passed a week ago. He felt like he was unloved. It wasn't true.
Her excuses wore thin, and as Chris dug deeper into Jesse's tale, more questions would arise.
Why did you tell the other story earlier?
Because I think that there was something that happened with my brain that's more of trauma
Green
related
frog.
that I've done more research on, that it happens. It's actually it happens more significantly for people who are dealing with things that are related to like a famous person, where they block out things and then they're told different things happened, and then in their mind it becomes their reality. It's a very common thing.
Oh, this sounds like fucking Letity. It becomes their reality, their perspective, because they have a clinically diagnosed mental illness, and it becomes their truth when it's all fucking lies.
It's very unfortunate because that's just, I really thought that, and I said that to people, and but now I have to clarify that that's not what actually happened, and work on that.
For instance, who would stay online friends with their alleged attacker years?
Thank you, the dove. You understand.
After this allegation against Corey Lush, did you stay in contact with him?
Oh no, I was traumatized. That's the last thing I would want to do.
But you were still friends on MySpace in 2010.
I don't know. I can't.
Well,
I can't
I'm
think
telling you
that
that we found that. So if the
Okay, so
allegation
yeah,
was
I
in
don't know.
2006,
Maybe I was
why are
trying
you still
to
friends with him in
pretend it didn't
2010?
Yeah, I don't know. It happened a long time ago. I mean, I might have some things kind of different than how I thought it happened.
Jesse had no answer either. To rule out the unlikely possibility that Corey was an underage mastermind with a white van and a crew of underlings ready to do his bidding, I asked his brother Matthew. He was understandably shocked to hear the accusations being made against Corey, and he confirmed two things. One, Corey lived with his mom in 2007 and was a sophomore in high school. Two, not only did he not have a white van
I believe
in
it,
2007,
piece of shit.
he didn't even have a bike, as it had been stolen sometime earlier.
Do you think it was fair to tell the story originally the way you did, and now to back off it? I mean, the allegations are serious, Jesse.
Right.
Listen, squids ain't lying. When someone says it's my truth, they're fucking lying. Lying. Because their truth is a lie. It's not fixed in reality or suspended in reality.
The thing is,
So
that
that's
this
what I thought.
fellow, now dead from suicide, sexually assaulted you, and there's no evidence. And again, I take this very seriously because sexual assault is a very serious allegation. I spend a lot of my time professionally going after predators who try to do this. It's a large commitment ethically and journalistically on my part. And so I want to ask you this with all the appropriate sensitivity, but nothing seems to add up here in this case.
Oh,
Seeing
great.
as you told her
I'm
story,
sorry.
Chris would give Jesse a chance to retract her statements.
There's a lack of evidence there. And when you take a look at it in the big picture, Jesse, when you look at allegations that you've sent unsolicited nude photos of yourself to people, that you have made false claims
people
against
that were in
other
my
people.
NSFW Discord.
I'm just saying, let me get to it, and then I'll give you a chance to respond.
Yes, he
There have been
did.
allegations on your part, false, of sexual harassment, sexual assault. You falsely accused
Oh, I'm sorry,
content
Pinar.
creators of being predators and pedophiles. All it would seem to enhance your presence on social media. And how do you answer those allegations, those claims?
I haven't accused anyone of anything that isn't true.
But you offer no, when you make these allegations, which are horrific for all the reasons we know, you don't offer any proof. You say these things, and then
I can't show proof of what happened to me.
Well, I'm not talking about you in this particular incident. I'm talking about the allegations that you have made against other people about being pedophiles and predators and committing crimes like sexual harassment, sexual assault. When it appears that you, by sending unsolicited nudes, would be the one carrying out some sort of harassment here, including a nude that was sent to a minor.
Okay, so we can get into that. Absolutely. He was a sock account. How would I know that of his age?
Instead, she doubled down and became
Enjoy,
increasingly aggressive,
Shannon.
attacking Chris, myself, and other community members that she had an axe to grind.
If somebody is lying about being a victim or survivor to get attention for whatever reason,
That wouldn't make any sense. Why would someone do that?
It takes away, well, because they want attention, but it takes away
Why would
real
Chris,
attention.
no,
Let me finish.
no woman wants attention from a sexual assault or lying about a sexual assault. No woman. That is horrific. That's the worst thing that a human being can go through. And for you to say that didn't happen to me and I'm just making it up
I'm just
is
saying
very
that there's a lack of evidence there. Some of the story doesn't make sense.
Okay, well,
and this
if
would, let me
that's what it is.
finish. And this would be a good time for you to come clean on this. These are very serious allegations.
Yeah, and I'm happy to take a polygraph test.
And you made them against somebody who's dead. You sent unsolicited nudes to people. You made false allegations. And according to at least one member of the TCAP community, you tried to extort money. Isn't it time to stop this? Isn't it time to stop trying to steal attention from real victims?
No, because this
Amen.
actually happened to me. So, you know, that's why everyone in my life knows about
Hi,
this, and they
Buttercup.
think that you're a disgusting human being. You can't handle the truth. You can't dig into facts. You're a horrible
She wanted to
journalist.
prove she
You know
wasn't
for a fact that
fat,
you're not
cowherd.
This is your chance to tell the truth.
Yes, and I'll take a polygraph test about everything because I know my truth, and I know that I was raped when I was that young, and I knew that I wanted to hide it most of my life, and I didn't talk about it, and I would never make up something like that, especially since that person is scarred into my freaking memory for the rest of my life, and someone touches me a certain way, I think of his freaking face. And
That sounds like Stormy.
So,
with multiple chances to apologize for her actions and to anyone she hurt, falsely accused, doxed, or more, she chose to single out only a few people while still playing the victim.
All right. There's nothing else you want to do to clarify any of the allegations that you've made or anything like that?
I want to say that, you know, I do apologize that I made, we're uncomfortable. You know, I think that it's almost like a crazy ex-girlfriend thing where you start with me and then I can't handle when you want to stop. And that's not appropriate. I want to apologize to Joey, even though I did privately, but I do want to apologize to him.
Joey TCAP.
Yeah, because Wes and I were kind of doing like this show kind of thing, and that was not appropriate. I shouldn't be saying things, definitely not appropriate.
And did you ask him for $50,000?
Yes, Wes told me to.
Just a clarification. Wes didn't tell me to make accusations against people.
It was my doing, and I shouldn't have done that. Tit for tat is not okay. Why am I trying to get back at people for lying about me?
So from here on out, no accusations.
The more money.
That is absolutely not true. Why do you try to?
No, it is true. It is true, Chris Hansen, and I would love a polygraph test if you're not gonna, you know.
At this point, the interview was getting out of hand, and Chris was ready to pull the plug.
And why would you, in that interview just a moment ago, in this interview, make a false allegation against me?
What was false?
Why would
That you don't
why would
believe
you
me?
say something that is just so ridiculous? It's embarrassing. Not to me.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about what you just tried to do to turn the tables here and make an allegation against
Oh,
me.
no.
It's false.
No, everyone is on my
No.
side in my real life because they know exactly what happened.
I think we're done. We're done here. If you want to apologize to anybody else, now's the time to do it.
But like the crazy ex-girlfriend she claims to emulate.
All right. Why don't you go take a polygraph and let us know how that works out?
Oh,
Anything
no, I
else you
need the
want to
money
say,
for it.
Jesse? Anything else you want to say?
No, I think that you have more questions for me because I know that you have a lot of trolls and people coming into your ear. And, you know, this is very disturbing that, you know, you don't believe.
I think here's what's disturbing. Somebody who makes false allegations to take attention away from real victims. And I've spent an entire career helping real victims. So I'm not going to give you a platform to do that. So Jesse, thanks for being on the show. I appreciate it. One more chance to apologize to anybody else.
You're not going because I was being raped. Why would I make that up? You're listening to AZ and Theo.
Jesse was not willing to respect clearly set
Oh,
boundaries.
free falling.
and had
I'm
to be
so
removed from the
sorry.
interview.
All right. Well, thanks for being here. I appreciate it very much. We'll be in touch.
No, I'm not done.
Well, you'll be
She
done
was
when
in the
we're done.
Boyd community,
that was
I
insane.
think.
And neither one of you, I should point out, just to make it very clear, is involved in the Jesse case. But based upon your review, upon our request, you know, as lawyers with experience in this field, has she committed some sort of a crime here potentially?
Based on what I'm hearing and seeing, I would say yes.
Yeah.
All right, hookers. I love you all. Oh, TCAP. I didn't know that was a thing. I thought I was mishearing Chris Hansen. I gotta go. Mr. Frank and I are gonna go on some type of a date, and we're going to have, well, I'm gonna have a dill pickle pizza.
That's on you.
I know that's on me.
I don't like that.
Why are you so handsome?
Because that's the way my mama made me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Will you pull me up by the head of my hair?
We'll talk about that later.
Ooh, damn. All right, guys. Frank's gonna pull me up by the head of my
didn't say I was
hair.
gonna. I said
Later,
we'll talk
maybe.
about
We'll talk about it. Oh, and Stella? Pew pew! Pew pew! We got 10 loaded guns. Okay, bye, guys.